No, mind your hand. Right. It's a white ticket, 111 to 115. Is it? 111 to 115. Someone down there, yeah. So just leave that there. You just check that code. The next ticket is 26 to 30. Number 26 to 30. Pink ticket. 111 to 115. Give that a catch. Yeah, that's grand. No, take it. There you are. The next one is a white ticket, 216 to 220.
Just a legal requirement to point out the fire exits in the unlikely event of a fire. Obviously, the exit to which you came, the exit at the very end of the hall to the right of the ladies, and the exit here to the left of the stage. A very, very big inaugural welcome to Mick Lally.
Anyway, it's grand to be here and have a fine facility to have in the area. You'll have to use it a lot more often. You know, it's might be some great spot. It's lovely to be here. Anyways, there's a good few coming on later on to sing and to jump around for you. So I start off in a very quite civilized way. There's a lot of songs in Ireland like to praise places. You come across it fairly frequently of songs in praise of some place or a town or an area. So I think I'll start off with this one in praise of Mullingar. You could sing of Brussels till you strain your muscles, of London, Paris or Timbuktu, of Constantinople or Sebastopol, Vienna, Naples or Kathmandu, of Copenhagen, Madrid, Kilbeggan, and the capital of the Russian Tsar. But they're all inferior to that vast, superior, and gorgeous city of Mullingar. This great metropolis, so vast and populous, adorns the regions of sweet Westmeath, that fertile county where nature's bounty is richly gifted with bogs and heath. Those scenes so charming where snipes are swarming attract great sportsmen from near and far, exchanging pleasantries with the noble peasantry that throng the markets of Mullingar. O ye muse, inspire me with raptures, fire me to praise the buildings both old and new, the spacious courthouse, the majestic workhouse, the church's steeples that adorns the view, and there's barracks airy for the military, where the brave repose from the toils of war. 5 schools, a tannery, and a thriving nunnery in this gorgeous city of Mullingar. And then there's Main Street, that broad and plain street, with rows of gas lamps that shine afar. Sure, I could spake a lecture on the architecture of the gorgeous city of Mullingar. Now in conclusion, I must make allusion to the gorgeous females that here abound, celestial creatures with angelic features, whose tapered ankles do skim the ground. But the theme transcends me, the scene suspends me, My muse's powers are too weak by far for to take bout Homer or even Aristotle to praise all the beauties of Mullingar.
These great the wars divided between nations, as we all know. And this happened when Yugoslavia broke up. And what I'm trying to say is we're going to do another war song. And after that, it's going to be happy, happy all the way. Trust me. This thing is called Body Gunners and it goes like this.
John, write a line and let me know if you have got the flu. It seems like half a century since I last heard from you. I suppose the neighbours told ye that I have turned a tramp. No house nor stock to trouble me, no paraffin for the lamp. No nylons do I need for the ass, no lipstick for the ducks, no rickets blue for linen, no handy Andy nor looks. I wear a Clydesdale tunic I found drifting with the tide, with a half a dozen pockets of leather long and wide, 2 sleeves as long as a day in June, and a collar 23. Well, God rest the man that wore it first, he was twice the size of me. I tramped a day through Galway and the sunny hills of Clare, a day through Milltown, Malbay, but they wouldn't have me there. So I formed a resolution that no further south I go. So I set my little compass for the blue hills of Mayo. I landed in Chirali on a scorching summer's day. I was not one bit seasick, though I walked it all the way. And the neighbours there were kind to me, and they offered me a bite and a cosy little straw jug where I'd rest my bones at night. In the morning for my breakfast, well, they gave me eggs and ham, but when I called for mutton, I got the horns of a ram. I met the sergeant yesterday. He asked me when I came. He looked up all the tramp books, but he couldn't find my name. You can bet your bottom dollar that I was completely bored when the old cock I had stolen in my leather pocket roared. But the sergeant was a gentleman and a sportsman in his youth. He asked me where I found the beast, but I wouldn't tell the truth. I told him he was a present from the Minister for Cocks, for breeding in the West from the famous Plymouth Rocks. Still, with all my depreciation, I was always to the eye, though I never wore the beauty that a bob or two could buy. Still the ladies threw me kisses with a nice how do you do. And I paid them back in the same old way, and would compound interest too. So now, me lads, make up your mind if you'd like to come with me. To see the beauty spots of Ayrton, ye can come along with me. You can share my little straw jug, you can share my eggs and ham, and I'll give ye half my mutton, that's one horn of a ram. Thank you.
Mercy.
now 21 to be exact, actually. I was in Australia for a few weeks. Very interesting country in many respects. Because many in Galway, in my youth and prime, there's been a man there by the name of Brian Mooney from Melbourne. And he used to sing every night in this place called the Cottage Bar out in Lower Salt Hill. And he had such a wonderful variety of old, beautiful Australian folk songs and ballads. So when I got to Australia anyway, I went to a few pubs and heard a few variants of this, that and the other. Started to read some of the books of poetry, things like that. When I came across this one by Banjo Patterson in a book called The Bush Christening. Now, maybe I should explain beforehand, because what has to be understood, and it's difficult in our society to understand it, in the early years of Australian settlement, white settlement, families, people were so wide apart. Like in some cases, your nearest neighbour was 100 miles away, maybe 200. And in the 1830s and 40s, there was a parish in New South Wales, and the parish priest was a Father Dunton. And he used to ride around on his horse to all these different families. And he'd baptize somebody. Then he'd ride on another 100 miles or more, and he'd confirm somebody. Then he'd ride on another couple of 100 miles, and he'd marry a couple who had already 2 or 3 children. And generally speaking, it was considered at the time that it took him 10 years to ride around his parish. Because the people who were coming out there, they were developing, getting these plots of lands hundreds of miles away from each other. The amount of clergy, Catholic clergy, coming up from were, as you can imagine, few and far between. But this Father Dunton, he went around and tried to baptize them and Christianize them and confirm them and the different knows what. And I think this song by Banjo Patterson, called The Bush Christening, is probably based on that experience. Now, I presume that this is sung in Australia, I don't know. But anyway, I put this tune to it myself. In the Queensland out back, where the Christians are slack, and the men of religion are scanty, by a road seldom crossed, except by them that were lost, one Michael McGee had a shanty. Now this Mike was the dad of a 10-year-old lad. He was healthy and stoutly conditioned. He was strong as the best, but poor Mike knew no rest, for the youngster had never been christened. And his mother would cry if the creature should die. St. Peter would not recognize him. But by luck he survived till a cleric arrived, who agreed straight away to baptize him. Now this clever young rogue, while they held their collogue, at the keyhole was carefully listening, and his features turned white, and he muttered in fright, "What the Jesus in hell is this christening? He was none of your fools, he has seen them brand foals, and it seemed to his small understanding, if the man in the frock made a mun of the flock, well, it surely meant something like Brandon." Well, away to the bush he took off in a rush, while the tears on his eyelids were glistening. It's outrageous to see to brand youngsters like me. I'll be damned if I'll stop to be christened. Like a native young dog, he crept into a log, while his father in vain tried to grab him. And he cursed and he roared, never minding the priest, Come out and be christened, ye divil. But he lay there as snug as a bug in a rug, while the parents in vain tried to grab him, till his reverend spoke, he was fond of a joke. I've a notion, says he, how we'll nap him.
And Eilish, in the meantime,